right here.
Boom.
Maintaining some trails.
Maintaining trails. And our beautiful road ahead. All right, so here we begin in the Alderbrook Meadows Sanctuary, and the Citizens of Nature team is here to do some general maintenance to this beautiful walkway that is usually maintained by volunteers. And here we are, got our tools ready, and we're ready to go in and explore as well as maintain everything. Just before we get into our work here, we do want to acknowledge that Mount Grace Land Conservation Trust is on the unceded homelands of the Pecumtuck Nation in the Norwottuck Territory. We honor the Pecumtuck along with the Nipmuc, Pennacook, Agawam, and Abenaki people who have cared for these lands and waterways for thousands of years. The work exists within a history of colonization that displaced the Pecumtuck and other Algonquin nations, including during King Philip's War, and this history shapes the conservation scene today. Western conservation has often excluded the indigenous people and overlooked their ecological knowledge, and even though research shows that indigenous managed lands sustain equal or greater biodiversity than Western managed protected areas, and Mount Grace is committed to changing this. They mentioned that they acknowledge that some of their land signage was written through a colonial lens by someone falsely claiming to be of indigenous identity, and they're now rewriting those same material with indigenous partners to ensure that they reflect authentic perspectives as well as sovereignty. Just a quick fact to get a bigger picture of this. Indigenous people overall and local communities protect over 1/3 of the world's remaining intact forests, and in another way, for every 3 intact forests you imagine, at least 1 still stands because indigenous communities have safeguarded it for so long. Now I'll leave it to my friends Nate and Aaron to tell you about the invasive species that we are finding and taking out of the forest.
This is an invasive species. It's called the glossy buckthorn.
Glossy
Buckthorn.
Right here.
Pulling these.
Pull it out.
Super invasive species. And they're pretty easy to pull because they stay green.
Yep.
While all the other plants are turning.
Year round. With this project, we learned that civic engagement is about people working together to improve their communities and address shared problems through actions like volunteering and voting. It is important because it strengthens the connections in a community, and it also helps ensure that decisions reflect the needs and voices of those most affected.
Invasive species,
Gone.
Environmental leadership is important because it means taking responsibility to protect land, water, and communities and using your influence so that others do the same. From this experience, it is taught that effective environmental leadership is less about having all the answers and more about listening, building relationships, and modeling everyday choices that align with long-term ecological care.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name's Nate.
My name is Mohammed.
My name's Aaron.
My name is Lindsay, and we would like to also thank Mount Grace Conservation as well as Jesse Witt for directing us through our volunteering.
Thank you.
Thank you.